This is an example video for the topic, rewriting a quadratic function to find its vertex and sketch its graph. In this video, I'll be rewriting the function negative 3x squared minus 18x minus 20 in the form a times h minus k squared plus k. We'll then find the vertex of the function and graph it. The first step is to make the coefficient of the squared term 1. And to do that, I will factor negative 3 out of our first two terms. This gives us the equation negative 3 times x squared plus 6x minus 20. Next, we will complete the square of the two terms in the parentheses. To do so, we can divide the coefficient of our second term by 2, then square that number and add it to the number inside of the parentheses. So we divide 6 by 2, which gives us 3, and then we square 3 to give us 9. After adding 9 to the parentheses, our equation looks like this. Negative 3 times x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 20. If we were to distribute negative 3 to each of these terms in the equation, the term 9 would be equal to negative 27. In other words, we are subtracting 27 from the left side of the equation, which means we must add 27 to the right side so it balances the equation out. Negative 20 plus 27 equals 7, giving us the equation negative 3 times x squared plus 6x plus 9 plus 7. Now, since we have completed the square of the parentheses, we can rewrite this expression as negative 3 times x plus 3 squared plus 7. And that 3 came from dividing the coefficient of x, which is 6, by 2. Now we have our equation in vertex form. To find the vertex, we set x plus 3 equal to 0 and solve for x to get our x value. After solving for x, we get that the x value of the vertex of this graph is negative 3. Then we can substitute negative 3 in for x in our equation g of x to find the y value of our vertex. If negative 3 were substituted into the equation, this would give us 7 as our y value. Now we know that the point negative 3, 7 is on our graph, and it happens to be the vertex. To find some other points on our graph, let's choose two x values that are greater than negative 3 and two that are less than negative 3. Negative 4 and negative 5 are two values that are less than negative 3, and negative 2 and negative 1 are the two values that are larger than negative 3. After plugging these values into the g of x equation and solving for y, we get the values 4, negative 5, 4, and negative 5 for our y values. Finally, let's plot these points on a graph. We can start off by plotting the vertex, negative 3, 7. Now let's plot our two smaller values, negative 4, 4, and negative 5, negative 5. And finally, we can plot our last 2 points, negative 2, 4, and negative 1, negative 5. And our last step is to draw the parabola. So we rewrote our equation, we found our vertex, and then we graphed our function.